Hey, what's up guys? Brando from 7th Circle Board Games here to talk about the rules of Devil's Tower. Alright, so I'm going to send you a spreadsheet and it's going to have a bunch of tabs, and the first one is going to be the rules tab. So the rules of Devil's Tower are very similar to games you've played before that are block stacking, but we're going to do a couple things ahead of time before we start stacking the blocks. So if you follow from the top down, basically this is a drinking game, but we know that there are many of our friends that are non-drinkers. So I thought that the best thing to do in the beginning of the game is to, as a group, decide what that person should do, those people should do in the event that there are non-drinkers at your party. So I have a secondary tab. If you don't have any ideas of what to do as a group, you can come up with your own method of things that can replace what I call taking a shot. Later in the rules, taking a shot is a very common occurrence. It's your fallback in the event that somebody doesn't want to do something, so it's pretty standard. And what we're going to do is come up with that ahead of time before we play, so that when we're playing and the non-drinkers have to take a shot, that we know what their action is going to be. So if you head over to the non-drinking shot tab, I've given you some suggestions that I think are silly. The first one is remove an article of clothing. If you think that that's something you and your group want to make a rule so that the person doesn't try to cop out as often, then maybe you should just go with that. I have a couple other suggestions in there, but please feel free to use your own thing. Non-drinkers are going to enjoy this game a lot because there are plenty of pieces that include non-drinking tasks. So please make sure that those things are done ahead of time, and then we can jump right into the stacking rules. So in the beginning, you are going to choose a stacking method. I have another video that I'll link you to that shows the different ways that we stack blocks. If you're comfortable with one that you've already used before, go ahead and use that, but I highly encourage you to check out that video. There's a lot of fun ways that I showed how to stack in different patterns that will make the game more interesting or more fun when it comes to pulling the pieces. And then we'll go with who starts first. Basically, as soon as the top of this box is open, anybody who yells the word first is going to become the first player. So make sure that you're ready when you open that box to say the word first. And you'll be the first one to pull pieces, and then everyone will go clockwise from you. Just standard to go clockwise, and then if the game tells you to go reverse, then you'll go counterclockwise. And then drawing blocks. Really simple. You're not going to be able to pull from the top 3 rows, and it doesn't matter how many pieces you touch as long as you're only using one hand to pull the piece. If multiple pieces fall out, you're going to do all of the pieces that hit the table. So if 2 blocks fall out, even though you only were trying to get out 1, those are all yours now, and you are going to have those tasks ready for yourself. Before you put any pieces on top, you're going to take a look at one of the sides of your block, not both, and you're going to go ahead and do this. Now, if you're not willing or unable to do this task, you're going to take a shot. So you really want to make sure that you're comfortable doing what the thing is, and if not, go ahead and drink. But we always want to drink safely and responsibly, so if you don't feel comfortable drinking, that's okay. It's totally fine to not take a shot. The game is supposed to be fun, and we don't want anyone getting injured or hurt or sick, so please just be mindful, drink responsibly, play responsibly. We're all here to have fun. So do the thing on the block or don't. The cop-out is typically a shot, and then you're going to place the piece on top. The reason that we don't look at both sides is because there's no choice involved. You're supposed to take one and do the thing that it says. If you want to add your own house rules in where you get to choose which side, go ahead, but they're not super balanced. So one might be really easy, one might be really hard. So I've found that the best way to get the most value out of the game is to force people to like close their eyes and like choose a side, and the one you see first is the one you have to do. Now, the other thing about blocks and looking at them is that you don't want to read your pieces out loud. A lot of them are pretty simple and don't matter if you read it out loud, like say the alphabet backwards. I could say that out loud, but if this says secretly put this piece near an opponent, then I don't want to read it out loud because it's a secret. Not every piece that is supposed to be done quietly says secret on it. So just read it in your head first and then go ahead and do the thing and then place your block on top, or keep it if you're told to keep it. That is performing actions. So anytime that you're using a piece and following what's on it is called performing an action. The only other time you're not going to perform an action is if one of the sides the side that you looked at is blank. When you do this, you're going to make sure that you have some art supplies ready, and you're going to go ahead and write your own piece in. So let's go ahead and jump into that real quick. When you create a piece, there is a lot of different ways that you can come up with your stuff, but particularly for the playtesting that we're doing right now, I just want to make sure that it's all inclusive. So please don't write any blocks that have to do with your friends, specifically naming them, or something that's so niche to your group that it won't be able to play well with other people. So I wouldn't say, do a kickflip on my piece, because I don't think that everyone can do a kickflip. If I was only with a group of skaters and we were just having fun and talking about skating, then I think that that would be a great way to do this. But wait for your own version of the game when you buy it to start writing those niche pieces for your group. Because I do want this to be a customized game for you and your friends, which is what, built this game for me, was having fun with my friends and writing pieces about each other. But let's just save those for the playtests for when you own your own copy. I have another video on writing rules and what makes a great rule, so go ahead and check that out after this. All right, and before we finish with the rules, basically you're going to place your piece on top with one hand, as long as it's the reverse of the pattern that's on the top row. And as soon as that's done, your turn is over, and you'll pass the play clockwise. Now, at any time, if you make the tower fall, that's a shot. So don't hit the table, be careful, even if you're messing with your friend. If you make it fall, it's not their fault, it's yours. So that can happen at any time, not even on your turn. And if you make it fall, you take a shot. All right, that's pretty much the end of the rules. If you have any questions, feel free to send them to me directly. There's just some terms that are just generalized, and those are at the bottom of the rules sheet that just help you understand like turns and rounds if you aren't familiar with those. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a lot of fun. Take pictures, send videos. I'd love to see how you guys are playing and having fun. And feel free to add your own rules, do your own homebrew stuff. It's all good. This is totally a game that I want you to customize and make your own as far as rules go. And we'll have a lot of fun, and we'll hear from you soon. All right, I'll look forward to the next video. See you guys later.